What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Hope everyone's having an awesome Sunday. In today's video, we're going to dive into XRP and go over some of the recent developments and news with the Ripple vs SEC case. Okay, first up, looking at the big picture of the XRP price chart in the 3-week time frame since 2013. So we have just over 10 years of historical data. So we have XRP being traded on Bitstamp since 2013, and it was just trapped in accumulation, not breaking into a new high for many years. And looking at Bitcoin's ROI since inception until XRP actually took off in early 2017. Until about January of 2017. So yeah, safe to say people made millions and millions of dollars, and they did reallocate and go after some projects and invest into different altcoins to take the chance again. And for example, for somebody to get Bitcoin at $1, $5, $10, and it goes to over $20,000 plus, that's an insane ROI. Even at $1 even and selling at $800 is an 800x return. So you're 800xing your money, $100 turns to $80,000. So while Bitcoin is ranging at several $100s, sitting up thousands of %, XRP was playing around 1 cent, if not even below, for several years up until 2017. So there's a good chance a lot of people made a lot of money in Bitcoin among other alts, and they said, hey look, XRP's at half a penny, let's enter a little bit. Now putting $1 million into XRP to half a penny would be absolutely insane, but let's just actually say that some people invested $20,000. If they bought $20,000 worth of XRP at half a penny, that would be 4 million XRP. Looking at the rich list of the XRP ledger, we can see over 1,400 people have 1 million to 5 million XRP. And if we added the sum of all wallets that have at least 1 million or more XRP, this would be close to 2,000 wallets, about 1,962. And I saw this post by Francis highlighting the rich list info site. Wondering where you stand, remember that out of 4.8 million wallets for XRP, over 3.6 million hold less than 500 XRP. So a huge portion of the total XRP wallets hold less than 500 XRP. Factor this into your estimates when factoring in the other 8 billion souls walking this earth. And looking at XRP's price performance over the past 10 years, we can see it's respected a lot of fib extensions, and turning on the lights, we can see from high to low, XRP, when it impulsed to that all-time high price, it went exactly to the 55 Fibonacci extension. Another bear market, and then during our retracement during the lawsuit, we got up to the 34 fib extension. The 89 fib extension is just over $5. And we could do the same thing looking at more recent price action from the last all-time high price to the low, and then also look at those levels. And it's always interesting looking at Fibonacci extensions because a lot of crypto assets over the years have respected these levels, such as Bitcoin wicking to the 8, coming up to the 34, and then even surpassing the 89. Same with XLM, very similar technology to the XRP ledger, coming all the way up to the 8 Fibonacci extension, crashing back down to the 786, going all the way up to the 89, not once but twice, last cycle closing weekly candle bodies on this level. Even Dogecoin, another project that a lot of people just throwing money at, made tons of money on early on. And I mean, this thing has had disgusting returns over the years. Coming up to the 1618, coming up to the 8 extension, and then even surpassing 55, but not quite to the 89. And then even Ethereum on the weekly price chart from high to low, we can see candle bodies on the 89 fib extension. In the Fibonacci retracement tool, and looking at extensions is fun because it is very interesting to see where projects have gone in the past and where they could go in the future. Okay, now let's get into the good stuff shared by John Deaton. So this started off with Rand saying, why is crypto celebrating the SEC backing out of the Ripple case? All it means is that now the SEC can appeal the case sooner. Previously, they had to wait until the end of the case, but now that they have dropped the case, they can appeal immediately. So John says, although Rand is correct that an appeal by the SEC will happen sooner because the SEC chose to dismiss the case against Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson because the April 2024 trial will now not happen. It's incorrect to say the SEC can appeal immediately. The penalty phase of the case must occur first. Let me provide some perspective. The summary judgment decision in the library case was handed down on November 7th of 2022. The final judgment that became appealable was entered on July 11th, 2023. 8 months after the ruling, the appeal was filed September 7th of 23. During those 8 months, there was additional discovery, requests for documentation, bank statements, etc., and deposition testimony, all followed by filing written briefs and conducting oral argument. In library, the SEC started out wanting $23 million in fines, but in the end, the SEC then only asked for $130,000 as a fine. Arguing over $23 million took 8 months. Now with the Ripple case, it's much larger. They're talking about $770 million, almost $1 billion. Ripple will argue that ODL transactions should be exempt along with legitimate business costs, including salaries, advertising, travel, insurance. The SEC wants the whole $770 million to make up for being embarrassed for several years, including having to dismiss the bogus charges against the executives it could never prove. Based on this, there will be no immediate appeal. Finally, the SEC didn't dismiss the case because it wanted to get a faster appeal. It dismissed the case because it didn't have a chance in hell to win, and the witness list of subpoenas for certain individuals to testify was going to be interesting, to say the least. We have Jeremy with this amazing thread right here. For all intents and purposes, the Ripple vs. SEC case is over. Yes, important hearings will be held in the coming months. Deciding judgment of up to $770 million is of course super important. But your time for hand-wringing over this case is done, in my opinion. The SEC dismissed the rest of the case, so there will be no trial next year. The facts have been set, nothing new or surprising will be coming out, which means the court will be issuing a final judgment probably sometime next year in 2024. And only Ripple needs to worry about that. Bottom line, XRP is not a security. We can trade it, we can own it on secondary markets. So for me as a holder of XRP, the biggest stress is over. There's going to be more FUD, there's going to be more concerns like usual, but I'm not worried about it as an investor. The case could of course settle any time before the final judgment is entered. That's one possibility. If not, both the SEC and Ripple can file appeals. The SEC has indicated that it will appeal. So statistically, what are the chances of winning on appeal? Luckily, we have statistics which tell us, as you see below, the SEC has a 14.2% chance of winning on appeal. And I think it's fair to say that the manner in which the judge wrote her opinion, very fact-based, at minimum does not increase the chance for the SEC. And so what happens if the SEC appeals next year and the appellate court sides with it in 2025? Because of the way the judge wrote her order, the appellate court would have to send the case back down to the trial judge for further judicial findings and determinations. As to other distributions of XRP, we can see that the judge did not make findings as to the second and third prongs of Howey. Only the trial judge can do that. What would the judge rule? Who knows? But you'd have to think there's a chance she would rule for Ripple. Same thing with the programmatic sales of XRP. If the appellate court agrees with the SEC, it would still have to send that issue back down to the trial court for further determinations. Sharing right here, the judge is given some credence to Ripple's fair notice defense. And then, after the judge makes a second round, it can then be appealed again up to the appellate court, now with all issues ruled on. And only then could the SEC win on appeal and leave with a victory. Unless Ripple appeals to the Supreme Court. So the SEC has to either 1. Not settle, 2. Win on an appeal, which has a 14% chance statistically speaking, 3. Get through more hearings, or 4. Win on another appeal. And that's not even taking into account a possible act of Congress, a change of political regime, or something else I can't think of. And Jeremy says here, I have now done the math and taking into account the chance of a win on appeal, surviving more litigation, and still being able to maintain the lawsuit against Ripple into 2026. The chance of the SEC winning is exactly 2.367%, the same odds as the Jets winning the Super Bowl. And last but not least, guys, during a bear market, all the research we do, investment strategies, portfolio management, setting price targets, measuring price potential, and making a plan probably seem completely pointless during a multi-year bear market where markets are dry, there's no liquidity, and there's not crazy price volatility. But that's why it's so important to look at previous historical data, looking at years of price history. What have we seen in the past? Because this preparation and consistency is what actually sets you up for massive success. You have to endure the bad times to capitalize and be around during the good times. If you have yet to see this video that I uploaded this month on my channel, I highly recommend it, titled Crypto Exit Plan, highlighting the smartest way to track your crypto, but going into a bunch of detail on how I think about and structure exit plans. Let me know your thoughts down below. Huge thanks to all that. Smash the like button and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could hit the like button, let me know your thoughts down below, and my link tree is linked in the top of this YouTube video description, with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.